Hey there, this is Neil from Guitar Theory Revolution, and this is the first of a series of presentations about the circle of fourths and fifths. The circle of fourths and fifths is a really useful tool for understanding and learning music theory, especially as a guitar player. So what is the circle of fourths and fifths? Well, the circle of fourths and fifths is a graphical representation of the relationship between all 12 notes of the chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is simply all the notes that we use in Western music. So that's C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, and B. Now, as you can see, the notes are not laid out in this order. They're laid out in a different order, and I'll explain why that is in a moment. First of all, in music, one of the most important things is the relationship between notes, and we call the relationship between two notes an interval. The most consonant or the best sounding interval is an octave, which is basically the same note but at double the frequency. The next best sounding or next best most consonant interval is the perfect fifth. And the perfect fifth is also basically the DNA of Western music. It's really important, and it gives us an insight into how Western music works. So the circle of fourths and fifths, as you can tell, it is laid out in fifths in the clockwise direction, like this. And it is laid out in perfect fourths in the anti-clockwise direction, like this. So how do we find all the notes along the circle of fourths and fifths? Well, we know that all 12 notes are in the circle of fourths and fifths, so we can start with any one, but we'll start with C at the top here. So to find the notes in the clockwise direction, remember that is it moves in fifths in the clockwise direction. Now a perfect fifth on the guitar is a fret distance of 7 frets. So if you play a C on your guitar and you play a note 7 frets up from there towards the bridge, you will be playing a G. That's a perfect fifth from the C to the G. 7 frets or a perfect fifth. And from the G, 7 frets up is a D. That's also a perfect fifth. 7 frets up is an A. 7 frets up from the A, you get an E, etc. all the way around in the clockwise direction. So remember, in the clockwise direction it moves in perfect fifths or 7 frets. In the anti-clockwise direction it moves in perfect fourths. And a perfect fourth on the guitar is a distance of 5 frets. So if you move 5 frets up from the C on your guitar, you reach an F. And if you move 5 frets up from the F, you reach the A sharp or B flat. And if you move on from there 5 frets, you get to the D sharp or E flat, all the way around in the anti-clockwise direction. Now another way to find the notes in the clockwise direction is by looking at the major scales for each key. So here where the C is, let's call that the key of C major, and the major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and the fifth note of that scale is a G, and the fifth note of a G major scale is a D, and the fifth note of a D major scale is an A, all the way around the circle. So that's another way you can find the notes in the clockwise direction. Okay, that's it for this part of the circle of fourths and fifths. In the next presentations, I'll be showing you how you can use the circle of fourths and fifths to figure out how many sharps and flats are in each key, how you can find relative minor keys for each major key, how you can figure out which chords go in each key, and all kinds of other interesting things. I'll also show you easy ways to remember the circle of fourths and fifths so that you can practice drawing it out until it's ingrained into your mind. Okay, thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you in the next presentation. By the way, if you want resources that will help you with this material, head over to my site guitartheoryrevolution.info, and there you'll be able to download free ebooks that will help you with all facets of music theory for the guitar player.